and welcome to a very special mini episode of I'm Talking to Jew. Today we're talking about Christmas.
More specifically, let's talk about the relationship between Jews and Christmas.
Good, because I was going to say I don't think Christmas is a very Jewish thing to talk about.
No, not
right
at
off
all.
the bat.
No. But we can talk about how Jews and Judaism looks at Christmas. I think that's a good topic.
Yeah. What do you know about Christmas, the story of Christmas at all?
Well, basically, I know the basics about Christmas. I know that it celebrates the birth of Jesus, and I know pretty much what the Christian theological belief is about Jesus' parentage, and
Do you want me to give you a small little rundown?
yeah, absolutely. Let's turn the tables. You teach me.
God, this is going to be rough because I don't know this story very well. So
You probably know better than me.
yeah, I'm going to butcher it a little bit.
Did you ever do one of those like nativity plays at school?
No, I never did one of those.
Ooh, I think
Yeah,
you
I don't
missed
think
out.
I've ever seen one.
Really?
Yeah,
I
like, I've
thought
seen
that's
them in
something everyone sees.
I've seen them in movies and stuff like that, but
So have I.
yeah, of course. So the story of Christmas is there's this lady. Her name's Mary. I'm sure you've heard of her.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
The big Virgin Mary.
Yeah, I've read the Da Vinci Code. I know.
Yeah. So she's chilling in Nazareth,
Cool.
and an angel comes down. I forget what his name is. I think he's Gabriel.
Yeah.
Gabriel or something like that. He comes down and he's like, God's picked you to like mother his son Jesus, who's going to come down and he's going to basically save the world.
Yeah.
Some kind of superhero. So he impregnates Mary.
The angel impregnates Mary.
He doesn't like do the deed with her.
No, I get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he just like snaps his fingers and bam, she's pregnant. It's like a magic trick.
See, my impression was always that God impregnated Mary with Jesus.
Well, he may have through the angel. I don't know.
Okay.
Like I said, I could be getting this very, very wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, Mary's pregnant
All right.
without having done the deed.
Okay. Cool.
She has to break this news to her soon-to-be husband. So she's not even married yet, which I'm
Wow.
sure was a little bit taboo back in the day.
Yeah, that's a tough conversation to have, I imagine.
Yeah, I have questions about this myself, the whole story.
Do you reckon that was the first example of like a man walking into a room and the partner being like, "It's not what it looks like"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll finish the story and then I'll tell you what I think about this.
Okay. I think I can tell what you think, but
Yeah.
you might have to verbalize it.
So she's pregnant and her husband, I think his name's Joseph.
Yeah.
Well, he's not husband yet. His name's
Yeah,
Joseph.
I know that. Yep.
Yeah. So they then, this is where it gets very, very complicated and it's weird to me. Anyway.
Okay.
So where they're living right now is under the Roman Empire at the time.
Yep.
And the guy, I can't remember what his name is, whoever the Roman ruler is, he wants everyone to fill in a census so he can tax everyone appropriately.
Okay.
So they all have to travel back to where they were originally from.
Yep.
So Mary and Joseph make this like 7 billion mile journey while she's like ready to go. She's about to give birth.
Okay.
And they arrive in this town and it's all the rooms are booked out because everyone's back there for the census.
Yeah.
Then they can't get a room, so they end up in like a manger or something. Basically where the animals sleep. Is like
A
the only
manger.
place
Is that
they
what a
can get.
manger is?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong again. And that's where she gives birth to Jesus.
Oh, wow. Humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay.
then Jesus is born.
Yep.
And a new star appears in the sky.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's what the 3 wise men follow to find him.
Who are the 3 wise men?
Oh, I don't know their story well enough, but they come bringing gifts, frankincense, gold and myrrh,
Wow.
whatever myrrh and frankincense are, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay.
And that's basically the story of Christmas
Right.
in a roundabout way.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know very, very broad strokes about the beginning of Christianity. I obviously know sort of what obviously know what happened to Jesus at the end.
Yeah.
But I've never really delved into what Christmas is. I've always seen it as, especially here in Australia, as a largely secular holiday.
Yeah, it's weird because it is like a religious holiday, but everyone celebrates it,
Yeah.
regardless of whether or not you're religious.
So when you celebrate it, is there any religious ritual that you do?
No.
So what do you do?
We just eat food and share presents and stuff. I guess the presents originates from those 3 wise men.
Ah,
The
okay.
gift-giving thing. That's how that all started.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
But
All
I'm
right, I hear
very
that.
skeptical of the whole story, to be
Right,
honest.
but I mean, you're skeptical about most religious stories and stuff.
I kind of think that this Mary lady.
Yeah.
And this is going to upset a lot of people.
Yeah, well, why should this episode be different to any other episode?
I think she probably just cheated on her soon-to-be husband.
Yikes. Okay.
And got pregnant.
Yikes.
And then made up this elaborate story.
Wow.
And that's what happened.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is not going to shock anyone. I'm fascinated by religion, both my religion and every other religion. I'm fascinated about theology and philosophy. And Christianity is just one, because in so many ways it's so fundamentally different to Judaism.
Yeah.
It's just one that I've never really gotten a grasp on its mechanisms.
Yeah.
So I find it fascinating.
Yeah. So what is the relationship?
So Jews don't celebrate Christmas.
No.
Right? I mean, I'm sure there are Jews that do, especially if you're like, I suppose if you're in a relationship where one partner is Jewish and one partner is not Jewish, and you're bringing up your kids with maybe both sort of religions,
Yeah.
or if you're just entirely secular, I'm sure there are Jews that, I mean, I know Jews who do celebrate Christmas just in terms of like setting up a tree and giving presents and stuff. But Judaism itself, especially Orthodox Judaism, Christmas, no one celebrates Christmas. Like there's no...
Yeah. It's just not on.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not even like American Halloween or like an Independence Day, like a country's Independence Day, where it's so secular that there's nothing wrong with celebrating it, even though Halloween is a bit pagan. So lots of religious Jews don't celebrate it.
Yeah.
But Christmas especially, for a couple of reasons we'll get into, it's sort of like antithetical to being a proud Jew to celebrate Christmas.
Yeah. I kind of feel like it's the whole, like celebrating another god almost.
Yeah,
in that type,
yeah,
that
very
type
much
of
is.
ballpark.
Because it's interesting because, again, I don't really understand the whole Jesus, Son of God, Trinity, Holy Spirit. But from my really basic understanding, that whole three-pronged triangle Trinity godliness is not a concept in Judaism. Like for us, Judaism is one single whole. There are no parts to him. I know there are like mystical Kabbalists who like delve into the different aspects of God, but that's very fundamentally different from what I understand to be the Christian approach.
Yeah. Well, so you don't have like a Jesus.
No,
Do you?
definitely not.
No.
But also Christmas is interesting and Christianity is interesting as well because it's just problematic sort of like in every way. Like even the word Christmas, the word Christ, like Jesus Christ. So Christ means the Messiah, right? Like our Messiah. So even saying the word, like a lot of Jews don't say the word Jesus Christ because that's like, it's sort of like acknowledging that he's the Messiah, but he's not our Messiah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So even the concept of saying, oh, I'm celebrating Christmas, even if there's nothing religious about it, you're sort of going, I'm celebrating the birth of the Messiah, but he's not. We don't believe he was a Messiah. We definitely don't believe he was the Son of God or that he was divine, but we don't even believe that he was the Messiah. Like the Jewish Messiah has to achieve certain things, and Jesus didn't. So,
well, big call.
I mean, well, it's pretty...
Depending on who you ask, I guess.
Well, not according to the Jewish tradition.
Yeah.
Like, our Messiah has to rebuild the temple and bring peace and do a whole series of things. We don't have a temple. We definitely don't have peace. So, according to the Jewish tradition, Yeah. So it's weird. It'd be weird to be celebrating something called Christmas if you're a believing Jew.
Yeah.
I mean, even like the way we date things. You know how you have BC for before Christ and AD for, what's it, Anno Domini or something like that?
Whatever that means.
Yeah, which means the year of our Lord.
So there you go.
Yeah, so Jews, because practically we have to refer to this year as 2017, next year 2018. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, even Jewish months were named after pagan gods from the times.
Yeah.
But to say like AD, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord, it's not really the year of our Lord, right?
Yeah.
So that's why Jews, we call BC, instead of before Christ, we say BCE, before Common Era.
Okay.
And we call AD CE, Common Era, right? Because even that acknowledgement doesn't feel right as an observing, believing Jew.
Yeah, it's almost against the rules.
Yeah, I mean, not an explicit rule.
Yeah.
But I think there's just this general... There's a difference, and a respectful difference, and I'm happy for everyone to practice their religion. And I personally love Christmas time. I just think everyone's happier around Christmas time. I love seeing Christmas lights. I love the cheery mood. I think the presents and the family feast is awesome.
Yeah.
but I don't want to celebrate. I have my own religion and tradition and stuff.
I mean, like, I celebrate it, but not in any sort of religious way.
Yeah, because it's a lovely time.
Yeah, it's just always been a thing I've done.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
At all. And it also, like, I don't have a problem with, I don't get offended if someone says to me, like, if I'm in a shop and they say, "Oh, Merry Christmas." I'm not going to correct them. I don't get offended. Like, I don't know. I'll say Merry Christmas to people all the time. I think I did it in the last episode, actually.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I think there would be a lot of people, a lot of Christians and Catholics and all these people who do get very upset about people celebrating Christmas who aren't religious.
Really?
I think there would be. I think a lot of people would be like, this is meant to be about, like, the birth of Jesus, and now it's all about, like, presents and
I guess we get that in Judaism as well. Like, you have holidays, religious holidays, and some, like Passover or Yom Kippur, you don't really celebrate, but like Jewish New Year's and stuff, lots and lots of non-religious Jews celebrate it, like have family meals and go to synagogue and stuff, but they don't celebrate it for the same religious reasons. They do it more as like tradition. I personally don't have a problem with that at all.
No. I think the more the merrier.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, it's true. One thing that's not so merry, though, is, and again, I know it's hard to talk about the evolution of Judaism without talking about anti-Semitism and persecution and stuff, because there was so much of it for so long.
Yeah.
But Christmas, for a long period of time, was always associated by Jews, especially when they lived in small, isolated communities like in Eastern Europe and stuff, was always a time of violence. Because, I mean, and I'm not saying all Christians think this at all, and there are lots of Christians who are like best friends of Israel and Judaism now.
Yeah.
But there were periods of time when Christianity really, for whatever reason, whether they blamed us for the death of Jesus or not, Christmas was always a time where there was heightened tension and more common pogroms and violent outbursts and stuff. So Jewish communities, especially in those places for a couple hundred years, on Christmas, everybody would like leave the study halls where they're learning Torah, retreat into their houses, and just try to keep a low profile to not arouse the wrath of the Christian, fundamentalists around them who would then come and kill them. And so I think that's created this really deep, entrenched anxiety about Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think for me, having always grown up in a Western secular society, I don't have that on a personal level, but on a national level, I'm very clued into that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's hectic.
It is hectic, yeah. A little bit heavier than the topics we like to cover normally on I'm Talking to Joe.
Yeah, I was like, we're going to talk about presents and turkey and prawns and stuff.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, out of those things, I can only relate to presents and turkey. I've never had a prawn in my life.
Can you not eat prawns?
No. We could talk about, like, seafood, because most seafood, some fish is okay, like some fish is kosher, but seafood generally is not kosher. Like, I've never had octopus, I've never had
delicious
lobster, never had
delicious.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine eating a prawn. Like, it doesn't look appetizing at all.
They don't at all.
So how do you pick one up and put it in your mouth?
Well, you don't eat it with like the head on and like its little arms and shell and stuff.
Well, I've seen movies. They eat like that in movies, no?
You can have them like that.
Okay.
I guess.
But
you peel
savage.
them and you just eat the meat inside.
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
I just don't know if I could do it.
It's so good. Well, you're not allowed to do it, are you?
No, I'm not. Yeah, but I can't imagine. Like, if you said in Pork Talk a few weeks ago, if you put a gun to my head, would I eat the pork? Yeah. And I'd be like, yeah, okay, I probably would.
But you wouldn't. You'd eat a prawn if I.
No, I take the bullet. No, I take the bullet. It just looks gross. I can't help it.
Lots of things look gross and are delicious.
Yeah, I'm very sensitive to how my food looks that was once alive.
Yeah, you've got a delicate visual palate.
I do very much so. That's one way of putting it. Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. I don't know. I'm very excited about Christmas though.
Yeah, that's
it's just a good time of the year.
Yeah.
People are just happier.
Look, we have to be honest. We're actually recording this before the Christmas New Year's break. So we are pre-Christmas, but you guys listening to this, you'll probably have already celebrated or Christmas would already passed.
Yeah. It could be June when you're listening to this. Who knows?
No, June when you're re-listening to this, because we know all of our listeners listen to our podcast at least twice.
I can't get enough.
yeah. But I hear it. I genuinely love Christmas time. I mean, there's also Hanukkah time as well, which I love Hanukkah. But I think Christmas is just... I think it's a nice holiday for families.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. And it's just become so separate from religion.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
hear
detached from that now.
Interesting.
Like there are people who celebrate it
Yeah.
as like a religious holiday.
Yeah.
But it's just such a global thing now,
Yeah.
Christmas. It's everywhere.
Wow. I hear that. All right. Well, that's all I've got for the relationship with Jews and Christmas. Basically, there's not a great one.
Yeah. It seems like a pretty sensitive topic.
It is. I think it is a sensitive topic. I think there is an element of persecution complex for good reason among Jews.
Yeah.
And up until recently, most of the persecution came from Christianity. So things like Christmas are always going to be overshadowed by things like that, which is unfortunate because I'm sure the vast majority of Christians nowadays don't have any issues with Jews.
Yeah. Their relationship's a bit tense, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
The whole
like
story of Judas and stuff like that.
Well, look, they were all Jews. Like Judas was a Jew, but so was Jesus. So.
Well, Jesus was born to be like the king of the Jews, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
In that religion, whatever.
Look, Jesus'
He's
reputation...
definitely not your king.
Oh, that's a hard word to say. Jesus' reputation in like Jewish rabbinic tradition is also fascinating. Like how do we think Jesus really existed? Was he like just a revolutionary Jewish thinker, or did he actually have like some sort of heretical beliefs? Like it's very fascinating.
Yeah. Is he like in the Torah?
He's not in the Torah.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but people have like talked about him.
Yeah, he's in the Talmud.
Okay.
And we can talk about the Talmud. I think we have a question about it actually in Jewcabulary, so we can talk about that. But there are mentions of what's believed to have been Jesus in the Talmud.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, I actually got a Jewcabulary for us.
A little quick one?
A little quick one before we dive into You've Got Mail for the next few minutes.
Perfect.
So the name is Yoshka.
Yoshka.
Yoshka. Yoshka is actually a Yiddish derivative name used for Jesus. Because like I said, not everybody liked using the word Jesus Christ. And so the Yiddish, which was a vernacular of Jews in Eastern Europe for a couple hundred years, lots of people called Jesus Yoshka instead of actually saying Jesus or instead of saying Jesus Christ.
Remember last week when I said like rules and ways around them?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of like one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit, yeah. Because it's not a rule not to say
Not a rule,
Jesus
but it's
Christ.
just like a loophole.
It's like a bit of a euphemism.
Yeah. Yoshka.
Yoshka, yeah.
Yosh my gosh. That's
Yoshka's
good.
birthday. Cool, yeah. Look, I don't use that word a lot because I personally don't have an issue saying Jesus the same way I wouldn't have an issue saying, I don't know, the Hindu god. Like everyone knows that.
There are a lot of Hindu gods, aren't there?
Correct, yeah. But like, I think it's very clear that I believe in my God and you can believe in your God, but I'm still going to refer to your God by the name that you refer to it, just for simplicity.
Yeah, it's easy. You're just going to confuse people if you keep saying Yoshka.
Well, not anymore because I've explained it in Jewcabulary. Yeah. All right, should we open up the mailbox and ask a couple questions from our listeners?
Yeah, question time.
Awesome.
You've got mail.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll start us off.
Go for it.
I have some interesting ones today.
All right, sweet. Shoot.
My first question.
Yep.
I won't do the names or anything. We're flying through these.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Why do Jewish people kiss books?
Kiss books.
Kiss books.
Oh, okay. So it's mainly holy books. Like
Mainly.
if you have like a holy book.
Yeah.
Which rough definitions, obviously it's going to be like the Torah and stuff like that, but also like prayer books. Any books that heavily features God's name, like God's real name and stuff. Not Hashem, but his actual names. It's a sign of respect. So when you close the book, you just like, some people kiss the actual book and some people just like touch the book and then kiss their fingers. And we do the same thing with when the actual Torah scroll passes us, we just do the same. We reach out, touch it, and then kiss our fingers, or some people actually lean forward and kiss it. I don't, because I don't want to kiss the same place that everyone else in the synagogue's kissing.
Yeah, not
but
good.
It's just a sign of respect. It's I actually quite like it. I think it's a nice little thing.
Okay, that's cool.
Look, when I close my Lord of the Rings copy, I kiss that as well. So I'm maybe not the best person to ask.
Well, J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
J.R.R. Tolkien?
Yeah, 2 R's. J.R.R. Tolkien.
Did I give him 3 R's just then? J.R.R. Tolkien? No, it's just 2.
Tolkien.
Yeah, he's a god to some people, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the reason. All right, I got a question for you.
Ooh,
This comes in from a listener.
this will be interesting.
Cal, what is your religious background, and does that affect your impression and understanding of Judaism? P.S. I love your take on God, and I think I agree with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like this person's take on me, and I agree with it.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you do.
My religious background is small
Yeah.
and very limited.
Yeah.
I went to I went to a Montessori school actually for the first 3 years.
What does that mean? What's Montessori?
It's sort of like, I don't remember a lot about it, but it's a very almost like alternative school
Oh, all right.
where like it's just a whole different approach to learning, and I don't know. I don't remember a lot about it.
All right. So people should tune into season 2 of I'm Talking to Montessori.
Yeah, we'll
And
have
then
a Montessori
Sweet.
episode, I guess. So I left that school and I went to a Catholic.
Left, or were you kicked out? Be honest.
Well, it wasn't my choosing. I was very, very young. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
I do have a very funny story though. Before I talk about it.
Yeah.
At this Montessori school.
Yep.
Because it's this alternative thing. If say a teacher was talking to someone, and you needed to talk to them,
Yeah.
instead of waiting for them to be finished, what you would do is go up and put your hand on their shoulder.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is looking back is very strange to me. But as a kid, it was like all I knew.
Yeah.
Right? So when I moved to this Catholic school,
Oh, no. Yeah.
my teacher was having a conversation with someone,
Oh,
and I went up and just put my hand on her shoulder,
God.
and I've never been yelled at more in my life. Like this lady, I feel like she wanted to murder me. It's like crazy, and I was like, "I'm 7. Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, you're not in a position at that age to really go, I hear that misunderstanding. Let me just explain my side of this interaction.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, you probably just pooped your pants.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I was probably young enough to.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I went in year 3 to a Catholic primary school.
Mm.
Stayed there until I finished that in year 7.
Wow.
And that was about it. Like I was baptized as a kid.
Do you remember that?
No, you're like a baby.
Oh, when you were a baby,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Okay.
And the only times I'd ever been to church before going to that school was for like weddings and funerals and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I wasn't really religious.
Yeah. So how did that affect like the way you approached learning about Judaism in this podcast?
I should probably answer that actual question, shouldn't
No, it's all right. You answered half of it.
I? I don't know. It hasn't really affected it.
No.
I mean, I guess
Interesting.
because I'm not religious,
Yeah.
I'm just coming in as like an open book. If I was a devout Catholic or a Christian,
Yeah.
it would definitely impact how I'm learning about this stuff.
But you're not like a militant atheist either. Like you're not seeking to, spare me from my religious ways or anything.
No, I'm not the kind of... But like there are people who almost have atheism as like a religion itself.
Yeah, 100%.
And are like, you can't be... This is so stupid. Like, I don't care. If it doesn't affect me, I just don't care. Like, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, interesting.
Cool. Yeah, so that's basically it, really. Hasn't...
Awesome.
My religious background, there almost is none.
Yeah.
Is the answer to that question.
Wow.
From Cal's number 1 fan.
Okay, we have a couple of quick questions here. Is there such thing as a Hanukkah bush? There is not.
What is that?
Apparently, there's this thing as like it's like a Jewish version of a Christmas tree.
Oh, okay.
They put up like a Hanukkah bush. I don't know why you would. I have a feeling it started maybe as a joke.
Yeah.
And then again, maybe it's one of these things that people in like intermarried couples, like one Christian, one Jewish, maybe they do it as like a cute little mix of the two. It's probably not very Jewish for the reasons outlined earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who does it seriously. I don't know anyone who does it jokingly, but I have heard it's a thing, but it's not a Jewish
I feel like it would be a fire hazard to have
any
a
more than a
bush
Christmas
around
tree
near your Hanukkah as well.
Because of the Hanukkah.
Yeah, it's going to go up in flames.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I wonder how that started, the Hanukkah bush.
I feel like it sounds to me like a sitcom joke.
Yeah.
And that just spiraled and...
Yeah, like Festivus.
Yeah, just... Festivus,
Yeah.
yeah. I do like Festivus.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I'd celebrate that.
Mm.
All right. Well, there's no Hanukkah bush. There's the answer to that question.
Yeah. All right. Any more questions? You got?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Yeah, let's
One
go.
more to wind out this little mini episode.
Awesome.
Ooh. We talked about this earlier, actually, where you mentioned it.
Yep.
What is the Talmud?
The Talmud.
Did I say that correctly? Talmud.
Talmud. Yeah,
Talmud.
Talmud. Yeah. So, we're going to talk about the Talmud soon in like a full episode.
Oh, surely.
Because I know lots of people want to know about like what is kosher, what makes something kosher. And to understand the laws of kosher, you need like a basis in understanding a couple of fundamentals, which we've done a lot, like the commandment episodes laid a lot of groundwork. The Talmud is really the next groundwork we need to understand.
Ooh,
Basically, in summary... Sorry?
I'm going to need to prepare myself for that one.
Yeah, definitely. In summary, the Talmud is a collection of rabbinical statements and explanations about the Torah.
Oh.
In summary, that's what it is. So it's a very, very integral part of us understanding how the Bible then translates into modern Jewish life and rules and stuff.
Okay. Is it so it's kind of like a reader's guide? It's
like a reader's guide, except it's very actually difficult to read. Number one, it's partly written in Hebrew, partly written in Aramaic.
Okay.
Number two is there's no punctuation. There's no vowels.
Oh, it's like a Jack Kerouac book.
Yeah.
God.
And also the other thing is it's written in like note form. It's as if you were listening in a conversation about a bunch of rabbis who were discussing things and you just took notes.
Oh, okay.
So there are tangents and there are reference and it's quite difficult. It's quite it takes a lot of skill and a lot of learning just to crack how to understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spent months and months learning the Talmud when I was in Israel. And I'm far, far, far from being an expert.
Yeah. What does the Talmud mean? Does it have a translation?
Yeah, it means it's like comes from the word lomed, limud. It's all about learning and teaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's the Talmud. All right, do we have time for one more? Probably not.
No, I think that was a fun little episode.
Yeah, it is a good little episode. Again, as always, if you have more questions, please get in touch with us. Email talkingjew@gmail.com, or you can always get in touch with us on social media, Facebook and Twitter @TalkingJew. We appreciate all the questions, comments, and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we end this one off in a little Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
That's a different way to end the episode.
Yeah.
Very non-Jewish end.
Do tune in next week because we are going to put up a second mini holiday episode. We'll discuss a relationship between Jews and non-Jews in general, and we'll answer more of your questions.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. All right, we'll see you later.